This episode is sponsored by ODP Business Solutions, built to address all your facility needs. Visit odpbusiness.com today. So, Troy Harrison, it's a pleasure to have you back on the program. How are you?
I'm great, Jeff, and it's glad to be back here.
We're doing today's topic based on an email you sent me, and you said be nice.
Yeah,
I thought I was being nice, but
you
that's our
you have your
topic.
moments.
Okay. So, for business, what does that mean to you, and why is this topic so important? Tell us about it.
Well, I see big gaps a lot of times in the way uh, salespeople manage or sales managers manage their salespeople, and even in the way companies manage their vendors. Let me go into what I mean. Most sales management training out there isn't very good because it teaches sales managers to do three things: hire, dictate, fire. I'm going to hire you, then I'm going to dictate what you do, and when you don't do that, I'm going to fire you. And there's this big gap in the middle, and I call it literally being nice. Because I see sales managers who adopt a very dictatorial strategy of sales management, and they're surprised and shocked when they don't get the results that they want. You know, real sales management is about relationship building. It is about understanding what makes your salespeople tick. It is about building an emotional bank account with them. It is about, yeah, being nice, approaching them in a friendly manner, and acting in a persuasive fashion rather than a dictatorial fashion. Look, for enough money, you can dictate to people for a while, but sooner or later they're going to get tired of it. And even enough money won't keep them around. But if you adopt a persuasive manner of management, if you understand what makes them tick and understand how their job is a tool to get them the things out of life that they need, then you have a real, genuine opportunity to be a successful sales manager and to be an impactful sales manager. Look, the hire, dictate, fire has a very high turnover, and turnover is very expensive in building a sales department. It's not even just financially expensive. It's expensive in terms of its cost to you. An HR director that I respect a lot used a phrase with me lately, and I like this phrase. I'm going to use it here: emotionally expensive. And we're talking about a situation where there was some interdepartmental conflict, and one department has adopted, honestly, a pretty bullying dictatorial attitude, which unfortunately is led by the sales leader. He's the one who sets the tone for it. And she said what they don't realize is every time they go to this other support department and just go thundering over there, giving orders, trying to put somebody's head on a spike, that's emotionally expensive. And it makes those people less likely to want to do things for them. And these same people that go over to that customer service department is what it is. These same people that go thundering over there in a bullying dictatorial fashion, they're shocked when these people need to go the extra mile for them, and they don't. They just say, "Nope, I'm out of here. 5 o'clock, I'm gone. You figure it out."
As the modern workplace evolves, organizations must evolve as well. They need a partner that understands this new world of work. We are that partner. We are ODP Business Solutions, formerly Office Depot Business Solutions Division. More than just office supplies, ODP is a force for change, helping address technology transformation, sustainability, innovative workspace design, cleaning, break room, and more, making organizations everywhere say, oh, when they see how much more we can do. ODP Business Solutions.
And honestly, if these same people would work on relationships and, yeah, on being nice, they get a lot more out of that customer service department. But again, unfortunately, that tone is set by the sales leader, and that sales leader models that behavior for his salespeople by doing the same thing with them. So it's something that flows down and it ends up permeating the company culture. I also see this happening with vendor management. Um, Look, anytime we are in business, we have people we sell to, we have people who sell to us. We have customers and we have vendors. That's what keeps us in business, and especially in the ISSA, a lot of us have our warehouses and distributors. And it seems like too many people who don't like being dictated to by their own customers turn around and are dictatorial to their own vendors. Again, same thing with vendor management. If you are nice to your vendors, if you create a cooperative relationship where you're collaborative and trying to get the same things done, yeah, then you can go back to your vendors and you can ask them for something extra, and they'll probably knock down a wall for you. But I have seen the same situation where those vendors, yeah, they'll sell to you, they'll take your money, they'll send you the stuff, but anything over and above that, uh, no, don't look for it. And I'll give you one more example. I know I'm throwing examples at you, but there are so many. It's such a rich territory for me, Jeff. Um, I did a training program at a sales meeting several years ago with a company that was distributing the dominant product in their industry. I mean, it was one of those that if you have that company, if you have that manufacturer's sign in front of your building, it's a license to print money. And it was a sales meeting, and I did a 4-hour sales training program, but immediately before me was the factory rep of that equipment vendor. And it was very interesting because these people just abused that poor rep. I mean, they were just raking him up one side and down the other, and you could see they were doing it just for the sheer pleasure of because they thought they could. And so, I did my training program, and then I sat down with the owner of the company. I said, "You need to chill these people out in terms of dealing with that factory." And he goes, "Yeah, where are they going to go?" I said, "You would be surprised." I said, "You've got 6 competitors within a 20-mile radius that would love to have that sign up in front of their building. And sooner or later, this manufacturer is going to get an opportunity to cut you off, and maybe they will, maybe they won't. And sooner or later, that rep is going to have an opportunity to do you a little dirty, and you'll see what happens." Well, that was in 2019. Do you remember anything significant that happened in our marketplace in 2020? That manufacturer only cut off 2 dealers nationwide out of over 1,000. This particular dealer was one of them. And the dealer didn't make their sales objectives in 2020. Very few of their other dealers did it either, but they had a rep that really had a case against them. Well, they lost that deal. They lost that equipment vendor. They picked up a lesser one, and they are really, really struggling right now. I personally think that if they had worked to have a better relationship with that manufacturer, and I'm sorry to be so vague, I just don't want to give away the specifics, but if they had worked harder to have a good, positive, collaborative relationship with that manufacturer, and if that rep had left there smiling most of the time, they'd still have that sign in front of their building. So I got to be honest, it sounds so rudimentary, it sounds so simple, but one of the greatest business skills and one of the most underused is just be nice. Form collaborative relationships with people rather than dictatorial or bullying relationships with people. And what you're going to find out is not only do you get a lot more done, not only are you a lot more productive, but quite frankly, you and they will enjoy your work a lot more. So, yeah, be nice. Again, it almost sounds too simple to do for a video, Jeff, but here we are because I don't see it happening much.
So it is too simple, and maybe that's the point. That's we don't talk about it too much because really, isn't it? So if someone's watching this episode and they're not a nice person by nature, are they going to change?
Well,
Of what you said, I hope so.
I hope so too. And what I would hope is, and honestly, I see the truth is what I see a lot of, Jeff, is people who are nice by nature who make a choice not to be nice during their business relationships.
Hmm.
Some of the same people that can be absolute bullies and jerks in the office, as soon as they walk out of the office, it's like flipping a switch. And there are going to be some people that we don't reach with this video. If you have somebody watching this video that's an absolute jerk, yeah, they're probably not going to be able to fake it. What I'm hoping, though, is that we catch some of those people in the middle that are good people, that do have good friendships, good collaborative relationships outside of work. And I'm hoping that a few of those people stop and take a look at how they behave within the walls and go, wait a minute, that's not even who I am. Why am I doing this? If we do that, then this has been a well-spent time.
True. Those, though, that need to make the change don't see it themselves.
No, but I guarantee everybody else
Yeah.
around them does.
So survey time maybe, or
Yeah, a good 360-degree review
yeah.
is probably a good tool to use at that point. If, and there are probably some people that are watching this that wonder a little bit. Am I that person? You know what? Do a 360.
Yeah. Ask.
You'll get a good barometer on
Hmm.
how you are. And quite frankly, if you're not the person in your work life that you want to be, do the work. Figure yourself out. I mean,
Yeah.
this
So,
is obviously a deep dive into yourself and maybe even a little counseling, but figure yourself out and figure out why you are the way you are because let's be honest, nice people get a lot more done day to
mhm.
day.
Very true. The truth can hurt, but it can also fix what's broken if you're honest with yourself.
Well, it can.
Mhm.
I remember interviewing many years ago, probably more years than I care to remember. In a previous life, I did a lot of freelance writing for racing magazines. And one of the people that I interviewed was a higher up with NASCAR. And we were talking about Big Bill France, who was the founder of NASCAR. And Big Bill France is thought of as a bully, and he was definitely a hard-nosed businessman. But this person told me something very interesting. He said, if you were in a room with Bill France was an absolute gentleman. He treated everybody who walked in well until they gave him reason not to. And he said, more importantly, no matter how much money Big Bill made out of a deal, he made sure that there was enough on the table that everybody walked away happy.
Hmm.
Because like you said, Bill wasn't the only person attempting to start a national stock car circuit at that time. Bill was just the best with relationships and then he knew how to leverage those relationships. Same thing. Form
Yeah.
collaborative relationships.
Yeah, it makes sense. All right. So we're both going to be nice
Yep,
all the time, and those watching will do the same, I hope.
I
Thank you.
hope so. Thank you, Jeff.